Hi gang, Aaron Fisher here with another episode of the Card Magic Minute. This is my chance to share with you some of the insights my students are gaining as we work together every week during the course of my online personal training program. Now today we're going to talk about one of the most fundamental things that all of us can do, which is get a break. And we all know how to do it, or at least we think we all know how to do it, and it doesn't matter whether you do the pass or the double undercut or whatever you want to do. Most of these controls all stem from a basic fourth finger flesh break. And so I wonder so many times when I attend magic events or see my fellow magicians perform, why it is, no matter how the pass is, no matter how the move is, I can always see the break. The simple truth is this: if I can see your break in any way, I see two packets. The moment I see two packets, I've seen your pass. I see the control. I see what's going on. That's all there is. That's all that you can see when you flash a pass is two packets for a moment. That's all it looks like. So the moment the audience sees any break, any separation, or even a thick line at the front of the deck, you are sunk. Now, the secret to that is holding the cards in alignment and not sticking your pinky into the deck. Now, many of us know that, and many of us can hold a break with just a little bit of attention to detail by holding the cards aligned, not placing any undue pressure on them, and keeping the first finger at the front of the deck to help support that from the front, and we can do just fine in that way. But where I see people get into trouble so much of the time is when they have to get into this position. So today I just want to give you a tip for how to get a break from a spread, because this is how I see it go wrong every single time. Because it's pretty easy if you just pull up some cards to get into a break that's very, very clean. Looks good. But when I break the cards apart, that's a whole different thing. Once those cards come apart, they become two separate pieces, two separate units. Now, while the audience is watching, whether you're coming from having both the packets squared or you're coming from a spread, getting back into that and getting that break to be invisible from this position, it's a heck of a lot harder. So it's best if you don't do it that way. If you're holding the cards in a spread, just literally make sure that your fingers don't extend all the way to the left sides of those cards, because if they do, as your cards come back, they're going to literally go into this triangular space. The whole secret to making sure that that break doesn't appear and doesn't become visible is never forming it in the first place. So you pull your fingers back a little bit, and now you leave plenty of space with this card here. And as you bring the spread over the cards, just bring it flush with the deck. Now there's no break at all. The break will never appear at the front of the front half of the deck, so you'll never have a hard time having to make it disappear. And as you square the cards, just use the third and fourth fingers of the right hand to drag back that card or cards just a little as you continue to square the deck. Now we have a nice jog at the back. Even a small one or a big one, it doesn't matter. A jog is a different thing than a break. And once you have the jog, you can just bring your thumb to the back edge of that card, and the rest will fall away, and you can have a nice, imperceptible fourth finger flesh break. Now, this has been said many, many times, but take special care when you're doing this not to lift up to get that break, because as soon as I see that, bam, that's another tell. So make sure that joint of your thumb is what contacts the back edge of that card. Now you lower away with the bottom half, and bam, that will pinch the flesh of the tip of the fourth finger, the pad of the fourth finger, as you just neatly square the deck. Notice that squaring the deck isn't a back and a forth and a whole ordeal. It just takes as long as it should take to naturally square the cards. So for those of you out there who are questing after becoming great sleight of hand artists, and for those of you out there that just would like to be able to do an overhand shuffle control with a nice fourth finger break with no problem, don't neglect to spend the time it takes to learn to set that jog before you get your break. It's going to give you a certain tempo when the audience isn't suspicious of what's going on there because they see you fiddling trying to maintain or get this break secretly. If you add this jog in, they will never see that coming. Now, whatever your control procedure that's going to follow that, it will be much more imperceptible because you'll still have the element of surprise. So that's today's Card Magic Minute. My name's Aaron Fisher, and I really, really do need your input if we want this to be a successful program. So please, if you have any questions, comments, or ideas for upcoming episodes, send me an email, afisher@AaronFisherMagic. You can also follow me on Twitter @AaronFisherCard. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you really soon.